All right. Good afternoon, everyone. At least I can say it's afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon, and by the time you watch this, it will be either Monday or Tuesday. And I just wanted to provide, as usual, a quick overview for the week ahead. I'm not going to ask you to look at any notes, but I am going to direct you to some items on your content page and just provide an overview about what we'll be doing this week. This is the second week we'll be spending with Galileo Galilei, and this is the materials that help us get to understand his background and social environment and his thinking a little bit more fully. But before we get to that, let me just mention, like I talked about on Friday, I do want to see if uh, anybody has any strong thoughts about whether or not you're learning anything in this particular medium, and whether it is, in fact, a working substitute for an actual classroom environment, or whether there are things we can tweak or do differently. I've already imagined a few things that I would reconsider doing and still might do so as the term unfolds. But more on that when we meet via Zoom on Wednesday. But do be ready to share your thoughts in a space that is not judgmental. I've indicated that I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about this medium and whether this is a temporary transition in uh, the methods of education, or whether there are things that we might take forward with us into the future, and whether or not we're, you know, in the early stages of some larger transition. So please do be ready to consider those things. Um, like I said, the readings today, or readings this week, include a biographical piece by the writer Dava Sobel from the book Galileo's Daughter. And it provides a fairly in-depth discussion of Galileo and his family of origins, and also stretches into the social environment that he lived in and the cultural aspects of the world that he inhabited. So it's a nice, accessible piece. I think you'll find it's a change of pace from the actual materials we've been reading, the dialogues written by Galileo. So that's one thing to look at. The other is a piece written by Galileo, a letter to one of his patrons, and we'll talk a little bit about the idea of patronage, but that's a piece written to Duchess Christina of Tuscany, who he relied upon to fund some of his experiments and to support his work. So, we'll see how aspects of his personality are conveyed in that piece of writing. So those are some aspects of reading. Also, as the week proceeds, we'll talk more about this phenomenon that later historians have dubbed the scientific revolution, how it is often compared with and equated with um, a phase that we've already talked about called the Copernican revolution. But there are some differences, and we'll need to get into the history a little bit, starting with the writings of Francis Bacon. Actually, we're going to get to those a little bit later, but going to the work of figures like Robert Boyle and Isaac Newton, and some of the other important scientists who were living and working in what's called the uh, post-Restoration world of 17th century England. And so a little bit of history will be important to find some additional meanings in the works of those and other figures. And then we'll go back, and in week 7, we'll be looking a bit more closely at Francis Bacon and his influence. Even though he predates those figures, it's better if we encounter him a bit later, because we can understand how his work set the stage for the changes that came later. So anyways, that's what's in store for us in the upcoming week. I'll also say a bit to prepare you for your upcoming exam essay, and also offer some early hints about the approach I'd like you to take in the thematic essay, which will be due, I believe, in week 8, unless I'm mistaken, or perhaps week 9. But that's coming up as well. So anyways, I hope this overview has been helpful. I think you'll enjoy the materials for the week, and I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. Have a good start to your week, and I'll see you in a few days.